Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today is the 30th day of this month of October 2024. My name is Capo Daniel, the chairman of the People's Right Advocative Platform, PRAP. We want to come today to you to fully brief you because we have had tremendous feedback following the podcast we do 2 days ago regarding the summary execution by the ADF of Madam JOKO FRIDA in Bamenda. We have had a lot of people who have joined PRAP, our network on Ground Zero, who are intellect, very good people, a lot of people abroad and home, who have primarily saw PRAP's vision and they believe in it. Even so, there are some people who have joined us and very proudly and are coming forth a lot because PRAP have declared cessation of hostility with the government of Cameroon. Because of that cessation of hostility, many people have joined this group and we are advocating for Ambazonian self-determination. Our statement regarding the killing of Madame JOKO have led to a lot of these people coming back to us and ask for clarity. They have contacted members of our cabinet, and we have also had a few very top international friends who have also reached out for us to make clarity. And so this podcast today is specifically to make clarity about this issue. I wouldn't do our people a favor without identifying the subject in this case, which is Madame JOKO FRIDA. This one, our mami them. So, me go understand, say, I even get a personal connection with this woman because he Pekin, be being my classmate for secondary school for BHS. He park come out of my village. He must have come out of my village. And a person who I know the woman growing up, do an avitoxin now mami them for quarter as they grow up. So it death also touched me like any other death. But we need to know, say, this is not personal. This is a public issue. This is about our people as a whole. So Madame JOKO Boris, now one of those people, the way they represent the state of Cameroon, then he being the deputy mayor for Bamenda 2 Council, the most active council where they fight against our Monday Ghost Town. They ran the fight against Ambazonian separation. They ran the demean our people. They fight for self-determination. It be one of those top people the way they engineer the infighting for Ground Zero to the extent where the American government be put it among the list of targeted individuals for ban them they no come for America. Madame JOKO, now the woman the way they always look for opposition for help Cameroon government for identify people the way they for inside government, where they for opposition. Who get plenty case them. For your own colleague, the way they don't come forth for talk, say, now this woman be report them, say, then they for SDF, now the woman be report them, they know if he ever make success for their career within the Cameroon government because of this woman. Now people then like this one, where they don't disregard every rule. Number one thing, for know about this woman in profile, Madame JOKO FRIDA, now Bamendankwe woman, but he been a mayor, a deputy mayor for Mancon land, where he no be Mancon Pekin. He must no be Mancon. Plenty people there for Mancon and they way all the council and for the way they make election, Mancon people they know they for inside council. Because the vast majority of the people there for Mancon, them boycott and they reject election during the time of conflict. Atanganjipo handpicked this woman, where they part of this villages the way they for up Bamenda up station, they go towards Akom side they for a village. Now one of the people in this way at Tanganjipo trust them for choose them, impose them for inside Bamenda like a deputy mayor. We first of all no be woman where he qualify, no be woman where if it's supposed to be deputy mayor, because no be village person according to Cameroon constitution. So first of all, a position na a crime for you for accept that position. You know qualify for be a candidate for Bamenda 2, let alone be deputy mayor. So now one of those people where they represent the scavengers of this regime, she is an enabler. Enabler means saying that you the help Cameroon for control our territory the way they do them. Because without them, people like this, Cameroon, for fit get able for control our territory, for pretend let's say nothing need to happen. So now an enabler. But one for make distinction, say an enabler no mean that say you been a black leg. No. Because some enabler, they need to involve themselves with Cameroon military or they stay out of the war, but them get right for be in their political party or any political affiliation of their choosing. So make una know very well, say Madame JOKO, now one of those people the way, where people then be very happy say they don't catch you. But what people that no be happy, say they kill you the way they do them, or say they kill you at all. Summary execution is a war crime. It's a mean thing. Nobody can put a woman who dressed in kaba, remove a gun, shoot the woman point blank in her face. That is savagery. That is not what we are. We don't represent that, and we condemn that, and we ask the Hague of C to review their modus operandi on ground zero. Summary execution is wrong, especially with a woman, a mother like that. It is just absolutely wrong. We condemn the killing of Madame JOKO, FRIDA. We want to make it clear. Those who are trying to misinterpret our position to say that we are supporting her killing or her death, they are just trying to do the normal politics of the day. We condemn her killing. It is wrong. But we must also tell our people that it was right to arrest her. Anybody who represent the Cameroon government, elected officials, the position of PRAP is that they should relocate to Yaoundé for their own security and to avoid being in conflict. For those our supporters who are asking, is it right for PRAP to support that people who are government officials should be arrested in the first place? Because we have already made it clear that we condemn her killing. But we have made it clear that people like that are legitimate target for arrest. They should be arrested. So I'm going to give a response from PRAP based on our consultation with our legal team and the policies that we have in place and the spirit of the PRAP as a movement. You have to understand international principles that leads to justification of non-state groups to arrest or hold government representative is drawn from international humanitarian law, customary international law, and the doctrine of self-determination. This international law gives legitimacy to specific actions under certain conditions, particularly in conflict where self-determination, human right, and sovereignty is at stake. The United Nations Charter and various resolutions such as the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 1514 in 1960 support the right of self-determination for people under colonial or repressive rule, which Ambazonia falls under the category of people under a repressive rule. If a population is actively pursuing recognized self-determination right, like Ambazonia now, that means the law, the talk say if any group of people, they actively pursue the right of self-determination, where it fit our description for Ambazonia, and non-state armed groups represents that population's aspiration. That means if the non-state armed groups they represent the people, their aspiration, they may have ground to exercise authority over certain matters within their territory. In such context, detaining government representative, remember this is not civil servants or just any type of worker, government representative, people who are representing the government, is seen as a means to assert territorial sovereignty and self-governance. Further, our people should know that under international humanitarian law, IHL, including the Geneva Convention, it permits certain action by non-state armed groups in armed conflict, which we are in armed conflict. There is still an armed conflict going on until Cameroon declared that the war have come to an end. There is still an armed conflict going on. This principle demands that armed groups distinguish between civilians and combatants, protect non-combatant, and follow humane treatment standard. Although the convention generally applies to state actors, the 1977 Additional Protocol 2 extends some responsibilities and rights to non-state actors in non-international conflict, armed conflict, which puts Cameroon and Ambazonia conflict right in this jurisdiction of international humanitarian law. This means that non-state groups can hold state representatives accountable in ways that align with the law of war, such through detention under humane condition instead of summary execution. So our people should understand that Ambazonian forces have right under international law to arrest every Cameroon government official who is representing the state, like elected officials, governors who are directly representing the head of state to exercise sovereign power. These are people who have discretionary powers. You have governors, SDO, DOs, senator, mayor, all these people. We can arrest them, but we must do so humanely according to international law. We cannot arrest them and go and execute them the way that this woman was executed. No, we don't have that right, but we can arrest them. That is why PRAP is saying that all of them should leave our territory. Thirdly, customary international law and human rights norms. Customary international law recognizes that in non-international armed conflict, that is the one like we have, non-state actors have limited but acknowledged authority within their areas of control. This includes the ability to enforce certain laws as long as they do not violate international norms. Arresting and detaining representatives of the opposing state government may be justified as a security measure or as a means to uphold territorial control, provided it is executed in compliance with international norms on humane treatment and due process. That is why we insist on due process, that anybody who is arrested in the name of Cameroon official, you catch Cameroon government official person, mayor, senator, all these people, governor, DO, you must follow procedure. First of all, you must account to the public. You must inform the public that this person have been arrested because you are acting on behalf of the public interest. If we claim we are representing the public, you must tell the public that you have arrested this person. This is the reason you have arrested this person. If you cannot articulate, then why are you in the business to arrest the people in the first place? Arrest the person, inform the public. Don't go and be asking money because that is not kidnapping for ransom. Tell the reason why this person have been arrested, the condition under which this person can be released. These are the protocol that must be followed. If the person has to be sanctioned, the international community and the people deserve to know what type of sanction do this person receive. The message has to be clear and equivocal, so nobody can misinterpret what is happening, and human life should be respected and people's freedom should be respected. Number 4, the principle of responsibility to protect under international law. Although this principle is typically applied to prevent state from committing mass atrocity, it reflects an underlying principle that actors, including non-state groups, bear some responsibility to prevent abuses within their territory. If government representative pose a perceived threat to the local population's security or authority of non-state groups, may be justified to detain them as a means to protect their community, which is what we have said about the elected officials. These are people who present a challenge to the authority of Ambazonia, or our right to self-governance and our right to self-determination, and so they are justifiably being a legitimate target for arrest, not target for attack, because we know that there are human rights organizations in Ground Zero who are more trying to set up Ambazonia to say that it means that these people are target to attack. No, we are not saying that they are target for attack. We are saying that they are target for arrest. So no matter how they come and twist our language or twist our word, we are clear and we have a track record of what we have said regarding these people. This principle further insists that this must be balanced by strict adherence to due process and respect for the detainees' human rights to align with the broader principle of responsibility to protect. That means everybody who arrests somebody to Ground Zero know that you have a responsibility to protect that person, to respect that person's life, and to see that that person is treated with principles that are held to international law. The last one is the legitimacy of governance in controlled territories. In territories effectively controlled by non-state groups, effective control means that there is no Cameroon military, we have institutions there, or we have a sense of leadership there. People tend to destroy the soldiers who are there to control those area groups. We don't have effective control of any place in Ambazonia. What we have is static control. That means areas where we dominate and also areas where we have kicked out the Cameroon government representatives. The recognition of these groups, authorities over their territories, is not formalized internationally, but the de facto control often leads to some degree of functional legitimacy. Non-state actors in such situation can argue for the right to enforce their territorial laws and may justify the arrest of government representatives as part of maintaining order and assert certain governance within their jurisdiction. So our boys should understand, and the population should understand, that any Cameroon government official, the war is still going on, who is in our territory, is pose a challenge to our authority, because we are in conflict of sovereignty. This is a conflict within Cameroon about the sovereignty of that state. So if you are Cameroon government officials, you are elected or appointed by the central government of Cameroon, you have to understand that you being in Ambazonia now pose a risk to you. The PRAP is asking you to relocate to Yaoundé and stay in Yaoundé until this crisis is resolved and we have a political settlement that delegitimizes any continual fighting. Then you can return back home. That is the position of PRAP. And we have an obligation to defend resistance and to identify excesses and condemn them while upholding the spirit of resistance. This argument and these feedbacks comes from misunderstanding, because there are certain quarters in our struggle where people think that the position of cessation of hostility means a surrender to Cameroon. No, the war is still ongoing. Cameroon military are still carrying out operation in our territory. If an Ambazonian soldier is met on the street by the Cameroon army, they are going to use force and kill you. So our forces, they deserve the right to defend themselves. That's why we ask them to hold their gun to their chest. But because we realize the reality of our strength and our limitation, given the internal dynamic of our struggle and the need for international support, we have taken a strategic position to end hostilities with the state of Cameroon and pursue the non-violent means. PRAP stands by the non-violent means to self-determination for Ambazonia. That does not mean that we will not identify or advocate for resistance in a lawful manner. The arrest of this woman, we support it, but we do not support her killing or summary execution. And we demand the AGOFC to take responsibility and make sure that they stop the practice of summary execution that we have seen throughout the territory. We have reassured the international community of these principles. There have been unanimous understanding of our position without any rejection or reservation. And we hope that our people will continue to understand how we prosecute this war. We must be disciplined. We must be disciplined. And to the Cameroon government, they should not take our cessation of hostility and our concessions that we have made as a sign of weakness. No, it is a sign of patriotism. It is a sign that we love our people. It is a sign that we even care about even Cameroon in the spirit of Pan-Africanism. If Cameroon thinks that they will pursue the war path, the path of complete annihilation of our forces, they should look back in history in the Bonga V, where New Papua Guinea at one point eliminated all known resistant fighters or non-state actors, generals in the fight of Bonga V against New Papua Guinea. They received tremendous military support from the Rio Tinto, the Australian company that was extracting mine and aluminium from Bongas V. What happened? A new generation of fighters emerged, and they were more deadlier and more professional. If Cameroon government do not seize this opportunity and recede, and this period is burnt out, our soldiers should understand that PRAP will be the leading organization to restart our self-determination if we have exhausted every means to make peace. You are going to see us coming there in ground zero. You will see us having more trained soldiers who are more disciplined and more lethal in guerrilla warfare against the Cameroon state, because we cannot accept the status quo. We must pursue a just and fair settlement of this war. There cannot be any peace without a just and fair settlement of the conflict. And it is up to the hands of the Cameroon government, who carries the biggest gun, to take the decisions that are necessary to pursue to the end peace initiatives that are ongoing. We appeal to the regime in Yaoundé that peace is strength, is not cowardice. We appeal to every actor that is involved in this struggle to please listen to the suffering of our people. We appeal even to the hawks of the regime and even to Konda Titus and all those who work with him in the DDR, manipulating the system, the dogs of war on both sides, even on that of Ambazonia, to have pity on the people they trample upon. No amount of money can satisfy you. No amount of joy can you get from the demise of the human beings on ground zero. It is time to stop this war of shame. It is time to pursue a path of reconciliation and negotiation. It is time to come up with a new social contract for the people to live in peace, for the people to live side by side and strive, to remember the spirit of Didi Eyango, who spoke pidgin with joy and confidence and said that we must calculate, the spirit of Kotobas, who sang and praised Bamenda. Bamenda, ye, I know if we forget with you. Now a francophone sing that song. We must go back and sit together and end this war of shame and stop the killing on both sides. And until we have a negotiated settlement, let all of us continue to pursue this path, to end hostility, to de-escalate, to encourage each side to stop psychological warfare, to turn down the rhetoric, to create an enabling environment for a negotiated peaceful settlement to take place. The Cameroon have celebrated their anniversary of the Grand National Dialogue with little or none to show for as direct impact on the ground. Our people still distance themselves from any solution they have proposed because it has failed. It's time to look at each other in the eye and write a new chapter. Paul Biya should think about his legacy. Manjunga, before you die, settle your debts.